of the Multipreneur. We are back. It is Monday. So you know that means it is a Money Monday. We are live everywhere except for TikTok today, but I already let you guys know on TikTok to come on over to YouTube because I wanted you to be able to see the words and also to meet this beautiful woman. This week, we are starting something that is really near and dear to my heart. It's the Multipreneur series. You know, we get started at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, and 6 p.m. for our friends that are in the UK. So I got 12:59. So we're going to just go ahead and make sure that everybody can see us and that we're good to go. And if you have questions for Wendy, I want you to put it in our chat. So put overlay how you can access her good stuff. All right. So I'm Standard Time. I want to give a shout out to the YouTube family, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and those of you who are going to be tuning in on Spotify video. Thank you so much for joining. This is Yarcel, the Multipreneur, and surprisingly today, I am not by myself. I am with a friend, Wendy Murray-Baptiste. I'm super excited to have her to share her story and talk with you guys in a little bit. But this week, well, not just this week, but the next weeks, upcoming weeks, we're going to be in something that I am calling the Multipreneur series. So the one question that I get asked a lot is, I want to have multiple streams of income. How do I find, my multiple streams of income? And, I got the dog said, yes, he agreed with me. But how do I do this? Like, how do things come together for me? And so I said, you know what we need to do? I need to figure out a way to introduce everybody to people who they're like me. They're also they're doing their thing, using their gifts, and it's really, really working out for them. And so I said, okay, I'm going to share some people that you need to know in 2022 because we learn from each other. And I really believe that sometimes you feel like you may not, somebody else may not be the same as you, or maybe somebody else is like you and you just don't know anybody else like you. So we've got to be able to come together and share with each other. And so I think today we're starting off with the perfect person. So how do we start off Money Monday? Started off with scripture. And first and foremost, I'm going to give y'all that. It's 1 Corinthians 15:33. Do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character. So it's really important that we contact with being around the really, really good people. And so I'm super excited to share with y'all some wonderful people over the next few weeks. So before we really jump into Wendy and what she does and everything, I get people ask me all the time, why the multiple streams of income? You see the memes, 7 streams of income is necessary to be a millionaire. You see those kinds of things, whatever the case is. But the bottom line is classic risk diversification. When you diversify your businesses and your investments in various non-correlated sources of residual income, you're not reliant on one source. You become more stable. You become more secure. Your wealth is more stable. Your wealth is more secure. The key problem is implementation. And what I find that a lot of people don't realize is that transferable skills from one thing to another, even though the businesses may seem different, they're the same, right? The world is changing. It's competitive. You don't have, the only thing you have is your time. But when you have transferable skills, they can go from place to place to place. And that's one thing that I love about Wendy is that she has transferable. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about based on what I've known over the past years. And then I'm going to let her I'm going to ask her some questions. All right. And if you have a question, feel free to ask away. So one thing that I know about Wendy is that Wendy has a lot of transferable skills that are really they're like mine. They're and others of you who also are multipreneurs. She's a problem solver. She can think analytically. She can think critically. She has leadership skills. She's adaptable. She knows the power of a team, a great communicator, and a listener. She's super creative. She has a lot of attention to detail. Some of the projects that I've seen her do is just immaculate work. And in order for you to be able to be a person who can do projects and events and things of that sort, you gotta have good project management skills, right? She builds wonderful relationships. You build lots of relationship skills and just be able to manage things overall. Those skills are transferable skills in no matter what it is. I'm going to introduce you guys to her. She's a realtor. We're going to talk mostly about the real estate business today because I've got a lot of questions about that. She's a realtor. She you can access her at Wendy at wmbaptistehomes.co, right? So you guys can see that on the screen. She does workshops and seminars. She also is a business owner with tasted parties. Contact her with that. And I'm going to put these all available to you. Info at tastedparties.com. Those same skills have transferred to Posh Opulence Event Rentals. Y'all know about those 3 booths that everybody likes, right? You can contact her at poshopulencerental@gmail.com. And her most important work is that she is a wife. She is a mother. She's a grandmother, a mentor, and she is a friend to me. So I want to introduce you guys to friend, multipreneur sister, Wendy Murray-Baptiste. So hi, Wendy. I know I said a whole lot in the first 5 minutes of the talk, but do you think I summed you up a little bit? Did I sum you up?
You pretty much did. You pretty much did. Thank you so much for the opportunity, Yarzal.
Yeah, girl, no. I'm super excited I've known you for a long time. And I'm so grateful because sometimes I feel like, man, like I'm doing, like I know I feel like I do a lot. And then when you meet other people who also have the same kind of skills that I have, it's nice to see other people doing some great things. So
yes,
when I first met you, yes, it has fueled us a lot. So when I first met you, I knew you as Wendy who owned Tasted Parties.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? And I have used you over the years. I can attest, just because you know what you're doing, right? Like you can cook, you can present, like you know what you're doing. Where did this come from? Like, how did you even get started in that? Just real brief.
I was always growing up, I was always a foodie and I love to entertain. So I would be the person that my parents' friends will say, oh, have her make the potato salad and the fried chicken. And so for years, I would just casually entertain at my home and love cooking and chatting and hanging out and being in the mix. And in 2012, people would ask me over the years, why don't you do catering? I'm like, that's not what I want to do. In 2012, I lost my job. And I lost my job in May of 2012. And no, 2013, I'm sorry. And in August of 2013, for my birthday, I started a catering company called My Lunchbox Delivered. And no pun intended, it boxed me in. People thought that all I did was lunch boxes. And so I prayed on it for a year and I said, God, please give me the vision. Give me a vision to let this become what you have planned for me. And I always, growing up, teenager, whatever, would say to people, just taste it. You don't have to like it, just taste it. And one morning I got up and I said, taste it. I love parties, let's go. And that is how Tasted Parties was born. And so I went straight ahead, changed my name. And my lunchbox didn't represent a brand because we love doing parties. It's customized, it's the type of experience where your guests feel like a VIP. We come in and we look good and we make your food look good and we make you look good. And so my lunchbox didn't represent that. And so Tasty Parties really just jumped off because it truly represented the brand.
Nice. So you took those skills, and then I also you do make things look good. You make everybody look like a VIP for real. You really do. I'm a testament of that.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So tell us about Posh Event Rentals.
So Posh Opulence is a spin-off of Tasty Parties because it's in the event services. And we like staging and decor. And I didn't want it to all be all bundled up in one. And so I decided when catering got slapped really hard when COVID started, we got hurt. I mean, literally, we went from multiple corporate clients and weddings and parties to zero. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? What am I going to do?
Yeah.
I had this vision for years. It's on my vision board. Let me start building my inventory. So during COVID, I was just building my inventory of beautiful, posh, opulence items. And so we did that for about a year and a half. And now we have enough items from parties that we've done before, plus our inventory. And we added the 360 spin booth, which is the ultimate trend for 2022. And it is big. And so we were really excited to now bring this other arm of our industry to our clients. And it's been doing pretty well so far.
That's amazing. I'm telling you, it's those transferable skills that I talked about, and it's like, even though they're different things, like how you said, it was the pandemic that, you realize you had to change. The world is, known that COVID was going to do what it did. You just didn't know, which is why, the key thing is classic risk diversification. I love that. So tell us about what made you decide you were going to help people secure their keys. You wanted to go and be a realtor. And let's just keep it real. Everybody can't pass that real estate test.
No.
I'm just saying, it's the truth.
However, when you do, you do.
But when you do, you do. So what made you make up in your mind, like you were going to do this? Like what happened?
Well, there are a couple of factors. When I first moved here to Georgia in 2002, I was pregnant with my youngest daughter, and all we did over the weekend was go look at homes. That was it. That was my favorite pastime. And my husband would say, well, why don't you get into the real estate? And it was a thought just, playing in my head for a while. But I didn't. I went ahead and I got my master's degree. So when COVID happened, I said, there's something that's been in my spirit for almost 20 years that I wanted to do. And I am turning 50. I was like, if I have to get taken out of the game, I'm going to finish one more thing that I wanted to do. Because a lot of times we're not educated about the home ownership. We're not educated about investment. We're not educated about how to secure our keys. And we actually have accessibility to it. We just don't know what questions to ask. If you don't know what to ask, you can't ask the question, right? And so I decided that was going to be my 50th birthday gift to myself. And I jumped in and I signed up for the course. One of the things is, yes, I have 2 degrees, but the coolest thing about this is that you don't even have to have a degree to be a real estate agent, but you're still an expert and a professional because there are really high standards to maintain. And so I did it. And God blessed me and I passed it. And we have been running real estate for a year and a half and absolutely loving it. Helping people get into their homes, get out of their homes. People need to move for different reasons. They need to start a new life someplace else. They need to go take care of loved ones who got sick over COVID. For so many reasons, they're getting a divorce. They can't live together in their home anymore. And so I come in and an agent come in and we are solutions to our client's problem, whether it's buying, selling, or investing.
So I love that you said, okay, number one, everything is changing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Number two, with professions, business is highly specialized and it's a niche, and knowledge is growing fast, and you have to have special skills. I love that. And also, too, the fact that you don't have to have a degree to do this, right? So I would assume, what if I'm like, what if I am fresh out of college? So if I'm fresh out of college, or what if I'm straight out of high school? Would you say that this is like a good opportunity to go into real estate?
I absolutely think so. If you're fresh out of high school and you're 18, because you must be 18 to take
Yeah.
the license and course, you are already in learning mode. You're still in learning mode, both college and high school. And you can get into this industry that doesn't take as much time as college, and it doesn't cost as much as college. And I'm a big advocate for college education. So I'm not saying never do that, but you can get started here and even pay for your own college education, not end up with an astronomical college bill. Yeah. So if you're getting out of high school, getting out of college, it's a really good way to start making income quickly. You get out of it what you put into it, but if you get underneath the right people, you can make money.
Yep. I actually met a girl when I was in Tennessee. She had just graduated in 2020, I think. And she was telling me that it took her longer to go to school and finish school because she was a realtor, and that she used her real estate to pay her way through college in Tennessee. I thought that's so brilliant.
Yeah.
So I want to talk to so somebody's going to be watching this, and they're thinking of their transferable skills, and they're like, you know what, and they're going to think back to the fact that you went and followed a dream that was birthed in you from 2 decades ago. I love that. And how you're still doing your thing with tasted parties and posh opulence, and things are still on the move. So I love everything that's happening for you, and the fact that you said that God really is blessing. He's really blessing the skills and your gifts, because I see you in each one of those things. They're different, but I still see you, the unique you in each one of those things. But somebody's going to be watching. Guess what? They want to buy a home. They want to get into home ownership. And this is a big deal right now, especially with the way things are going down in the economy. So what would you say now are some of the benefits of even owning a home right now? Like, is it even a good opportunity, a good time right now? Like, what do you think?
It's always a good time to own a home. It is always a good time to own a home. The market is stabilizing, so it's not all those crazy bidding and everything going on like it did last year and the year before. But the most important benefit of owning a home is equity. When you buy a home, you buy equity. 90% of the time, give yourself 2 or 3 months, and your home, whether it's 1,000 or 15,000, your home has equity. It's different when you buy a car. You drive the car off the lot, it depreciates. So home ownership can set you up to have equity, to leave a legacy for your family, to have income, depending on the type of home that you buy. You can rent, you can sell. So it automatically puts you in a plus position.
Nice. So what if, so I know Money Mondays, I get a lot of students, especially those who will watch on some of the other platforms. They're just getting out of school.
Yes.
They're just getting into careers. Some of them are in transitional places. Like, should they go off? Some are moving back home with mom and dad. Like, what is it okay to purchase right out of college? Is that wise? What do you think?
I personally think that.
What do you have to say about that?
I think that if we prepare ourselves as juniors, number one, we can definitely purchase as soon as we graduate, because we would know we'll be putting money down, we'll be keeping our credit good, and we will understand the home buying process. But let's say we didn't do all of that and we already graduated. Do not rent an apartment. There are opportunities to lease to own a home where you get money back if you decide after 18 months or 3 years, this location is not really working for me. This house is not, what I really want. You can get money back because on a lease to own program, what's happening is, let's say they charge you 10% of the cost of the house, right? You're paying $2,000 a month. Of that $2,000 a month, some of it goes in your pot to save towards down payment for the home if you decide to buy out at 18 months or 3 years. If you decide you didn't want to buy
because in essence, it's like you're renting anyway.
Exactly. If you're going to give somebody,
you're gonna rent something, then
you don't get anything back for the traditional rent.
Right.
And with the lease to own program, it's your house. It's a house that you chose. It's not one that we choose for you or the lease to own program chooses for you. You get to go out and shop the home that you want. If it qualifies for the lease to own program, they will buy that for you and lease it to you. And then they save some of your monthly rent as your down payment. So if it's $2,000, they'll be saving $200 every month just for you.
Wow.
When it's time to purchase the home, if you decide you don't want the home, of that money, they take, I think it's a 2% off the market fee. Of course, they took the house off the market for you. You decide that you don't want it. They're in business to make money, so you're going to pay a fee, but you get a bulk of that money back that you can go do whatever you want with because it's your money.
Nice.
And that's the big advantage, I think, of coming out of college and renting a home as opposed to leasing if you're not quite ready to buy yet with your credit score, because you have to have a decent credit score. You have to have money in the bank. You have to have a stable job, and you have to have your taxes for 2 years.
Okay. So, that sounds good. So, you mentioned about credit. So credit is a huge thing, right? And you see now everywhere there are credit gurus, credit companies. People are struggling with credit. So what would you say? Talk to us about credit and getting a house.
Okay, so you have to have a certain credit determines whether you get the house on the loan or not, number one, and how good or how bad your credit is determine your interest rate. So the higher your credit score, the lower your interest rate. The higher credit score, the more likely it is for you to get the loan. That changes from year to year in terms of what that number is, because we know that the last 2 years, your credit score could have been a 500 or 520 or 580, and you will still be able to get a loan. Now that the market has shifted, that's now. However, the lease to own program helps you with that because it helps you to build your credit score up as well as save that down payment. So it's a twofold. But you need to have at least a 620, 680. Each bank is different, but that's a minimum. You need that in addition to pay your taxes, file your taxes, so you can show income. And even as a college student, going to school supports your income if you just graduated. A lot of people don't know that.
Really?
If you just graduated, yes, they will look at your last 2 years of college as employment because you were actually doing something constructive.
That's huge.
Yes, that is huge. A lot of people do.
Because I was just thinking, I was going to ask, that's huge. Because I was going to ask you, like, what if I just was a student? What if I was a full-time student? Like, what if I was doing good in school and everything, but I don't have, this is my first job and I don't really have the money saved up or whatever.
They take that into consideration. They take your student loans into consideration, and they take any kind of externships that you did into consideration. Your new job into consideration after 3 months. I think you have to show some sort of stability. What were you doing within that period of time? So stability does count as well.
That
The
is
lender just wants
huge.
to know
That's
you
huge.
can pay them back. You're a good person. You have good time, money management skills, and you take your responsibilities seriously in terms of filing your taxes, not not messing up your credit, because in college is a really really comfortable place to mess up your credit. Yes, it is.
It's
Because they
true.
come at you with the credit cards and you don't have any money management skills. And so part of what we do is to go into the schools, the colleges, and educate people on, okay, I'm a junior. This is what I need to be doing. So in 2 years, when I leave here, if I want to buy a home, I can.
Nice. Very good. So I have another question. This will be my last question. So what happens when, like, if you want a house, but you don't have the down payment money? That's a big deal because I know in financial services, so many people don't have money saved up at all.
Hmm. Well, they have what's called a gift letter. I am not aware of any maximum that can be gifted to you. The only requirement of a gift letter is you have to have the letter, you have to have that noted. The gifter can't borrow the money to gift it to you. So there has to be proof that that money had been in that account for at least 90 days, and that person
Mhm.
has the income to support that funds that has been in that account for 90 days. That's it. So let's say you have 5,000 and down payment needs to be 12,000. And I said, "Oh my gosh, Yarcel has been so good to me over the years. She's been a really good friend. I want to gift her some money." I can. I just have to have had that money in my account, and I have to have shown that that's my money from some type of income. And the other thing is the
Okay.
USDA loans is huge right now. For location, it's
Well,
based on
say
its
that one more
location.
time.
USDA. It's the rural
Oh, USDA.
loan. Some of them you don't have to use, you don't payment is zero based on the location. If you have an address, you plug it in, it tells you if it's eligible, no down payment. So there are opportunities out there.
Nice.
Again, we just need space to educate our people so that people know what's available to them and how to go about preparing for it and getting it.
Wow. Well, that is a lot. Good information. And so I'm so
Yeah.
glad that I got an opportunity to talk today. Again, just to kind of recap, you guys, this is Wendy Murray-Baptiste. Then if you look on the screen, you can contact her if you're interested in about home ownership or even joining the team. Maybe real estate is something that you've been thinking about. Is the best way for them is to email you? Is that the
Yes,
best
just
way?
email me and then I will reach back out if they're interested in joining it, learning more about real estate as an agent. We have a lot of invites that we can invite you to, Zooms, parties, how the lifestyle works, everything. And if you want to buy a home, you want to secure your keys for your business or your residence, definitely reach out to us. We have all of the information that you would need to make a really good decision.
That's awesome. Well,
And
thank
that
you,
is
Wendy.
Wendy
Thanks for today. You've been amazing.
Thank you, yourself, for having me.
Say one more time.
I
Say
said
that one more
thank you so
time.
much
I
for
didn't hear
having me.
what you said.
I was saying
Oh,
thank you
you're
so much for
welcome.
having me. Thank you so much for allowing us to share with your audience.
Oh no, it's my pleasure, girl. It is my pleasure. So you're a little long today. We're coming out right at 29 minutes, but as usual, you guys can visit my website at iamthemultipreneur.com. For those of you who are on socials, follow me on my socials. I'm on Instagram. I am on Twitter. You can also follow me on TikTok. And if you guys have any questions, you always can email me at iamthemultipreneur@gmail.com. And don't forget, if you haven't received it, get your journal at iamthemultipreneur.com. You can use the code SAVE5 to get $5 off. All right, you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.